What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is Monday. What is today? It's Monday. I should know because I'm counting down my days to vacation, which is only one more day. Then I'll get to chill a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope your weekends went well. We got the big boys streaming right now, so if we don't get any traction in here, then it is what it is. I can't compete with the big boys. 1 a.m. Tuesday for you? All right. Well, welcome. We'll see if we can get a conversation. Last two, I haven't got Well, actually, we did have one call in. Uh, Mrs. Buck called in, Gwen. So we'll see if anybody can come in today. I think this topic will be easier for my believers out there because you either think God does something, which means you have proof of what God does. So we'll be able to talk about that. Or you admit that God doesn't do anything and God just relies on people to do it. So, you know, it's all good, man. I just try to keep my schedule, go by go by what I said my schedule would be. If people don't show up, it's okay. I go and make videos. So, actually not bad. Got like a different like not format, but canvas going on today. So it looks like doesn't fit the screen totally, but I'll figure that out another time. So yeah, like I said, welcome. We will see if we get any conversations today. I know a lot of people are going to say that God is active in the world. I would have questions for those people. I believe if you say God is active, you should have some proof. What I think will happen is anybody that comes and talks about this is really the only proof that's going to be proof is people doing things. Because if you're honest, hey, Killer Cutthroat, if you're honest, it doesn't look like God does anything, right? We're going to see. I like to ask those straightforward questions in order to see if I can get people to be honest or people to prove their point. So, God being active is funny to me since what is he actually doing? Helping teams win the World Cup, not curing cancer. The effort would be nothing to God. So it's always interesting to me that God's not doing everything, right? Because there is no effort for God to do anything. Or we're talking about a different God, which still goes to my point that even if there is this being that's there, we sure as hell have not got the characteristics right. Like, and I've said this to many people, it's like, what is God doing right now? Like, really, what is God doing? And I never get a good answer because there is no good answer. Because even if you say something like God's preparing, it's just like, wait, how is a being outside of time, all powerful, need to prepare for anything? It's just like, it's such a self defeater. I think the whole concept of, if we're talking about the Abrahamic God, defeats itself. It doesn't make sense when we look at reality at all. But we'll see. addicted to Minecraft. Actually, I don't know if I have the latest video up for that. Let me see. We had 2 videos come out the last couple days, so if you haven't checked those out, be sure to check it out. Let me get the... Hey, Buck, what's up? Welcome back, sir. Hey, GTA 6 is coming out. How many people gonna miss work for that, bro? Like, a bunch of people calling in, by the way. Got a little cough. Excuse me. Can't come in today. Oh, GTA 6 is out? Yeah, but just can't come in. All right, hold up. Need to go to Nightbot. I think it's one of those games that you just have to get. That's what I feel like it is. You just got to get it. Right? Why not? It took like 30 years to make this game. I feel like you just get it. Yes, the video today was... Oh, I actually liked the one today. I mean, I usually like a lot of my videos. Hey, happy 30th, man. Thanks for stopping in, even if you can't stay. Hope you guys have a good time. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, video today was Matt Delahanty and versus Jordan Peterson. And how, if you just rewatch it, how easily it was for Matt to just dismantle Jordan in that. It's actually pretty crazy. It says, this is not supported for this configuration. Really? Stream settings. Let me see. I don't know. If nobody's having issues, I don't know what the hell Streamlabs is talking about. Screw, screw you, Streamlabs. I used to listen to Jordan Peterson a lot, dude. I don't know if any of you are on that train, but when you're first like questioning the Bible and all those kind of things, I think Jordan Peterson would have been one of the first people you kind of would gravitate towards, because he says enough words and says them cleanly enough, if you don't have any understanding really, that help you kind of stay attached to the faith as well. So he is one of the first Phil Bro type people that I started listening to. What God should do everything for us. We talked about this. I think me and you might have talked about this a little bit, Buck, but if you can, you should. And remember, the key to this part is, here's what's so weird about it. Like, what do you think was going to happen? Let's say Adam and Eve never sinned. What do y'all think was going to happen? God would have provided always. They would have had to do nothing. So the ultimate goal is for people to do nothing. So it's like, I don't know. Like they would have done nothing. They would have just been jolly, eating their fruits and veggies, And whatever, why they needed to eat is weird, but whatever. We don't have to get into that. But the whole goal is for us to do nothing. But praise God, right? I mean, that's it. Well, here's why I think you'd have to do nothing. That's why the punishments that God handed out to Adam and Eve were them having to actually do things, right? I think that's our key. Where that's why God punished Adam with having to work because he was not supposed to work. God was supposed to provide, right? You can also go to the Israelites. God was supposed to provide for them, and every time they got in trouble, the punishment was them having to do more work, right? Like, because your God is supposed to be the one doing everything. You're supposed to be looking to God to do anything. I would say my interpretation is closer to the text, though. I'm not adding in anything. I'm using what God did, right? So I don't know if you mean interpreting like I'm interpreting some way off. I mean, if the punishments are work, that means work is bad, and God didn't want them to work, right? Like it's right there. Like why is the punishment for Adam to have to put in effort to get food? So like I think it's a punishment because hey, that wasn't what you're supposed to be doing. But since you want to not trust me, I will make you do it because I was supposed to be your provider. And then why does God get so mad at the Israelites every time they will not just let God provide? It's because God is supposed to do everything. All you are supposed to do is just trust in God. That's the whole story throughout the Bible is a group of people that would not just trust in God. So what the consequence is of not trusting in God is more work, more wandering in the wilderness, more death. Because if you just trusted in God, none of those things were supposed to happen. So that's how I get to that conclusion. And I think that's fair. I'm not adding anything. I'm only going off of what happens in the text. I think what we're doing now is reinterpreting it because of how our lives are. So when you say lazy, Adam and Eve were supposed to be able to be lazy. Lazy is only a bad word in our society for dumb reasons, by the way. Uh, Most of nature is lazy, and we make lazy a weird word. I don't know. That's probably like a different subject. Yes, but you're putting in the context of how we live right now. You aren't going off the context of the Bible, which is Adam and Eve were provided for until they messed up. Like Adam and Eve were completely for provided for. So if that's lazy, I guess. So do you if you're saying they're caring for the garden, that means the garden wasn't perfect, I guess. And then why is the punishment Adam now has to care for the ground in order for it to provide food? If he was already doing that, then how is that also a punishment? Like, are we now going to say Eve was having babies the same way? No. There's a reason why Eve now has to have pain in her labor. And then the punishment also is Eve being submissive to her husband, which means she was not submissive to Adam at the first place, in the first place. So I don't know. All of these things line up when you just look at it. But once again, you're I don't know. I don't know what God means to sometimes. Like when I think of God, I think of God in a totally different way than a lot of people do. Because when I hear, well, just because you make something perfect here on earth, it still needs cared for. I'm hearing human, right? And no human makes anything perfect. But even if I were to say a human made something that seemed perfect, I would expect it to fall apart regardless. So when we're talking about God, like that goes out of the window, guys. Or what is, like, it goes to my point. What is God doing then? Like what is God then? It doesn't make any sense. Like God literally doesn't do anything then. But when you're saying care, I think you're saying care like we would say care for a garden. But that was Adam's punishment. His punishment was he had to really care for the garden, right? So we can't say that he was already caring for the garden when his punishment was caring for the garden. Not garden, by the way, right? Like the farming and ground, right? When you talk about care, it would be caring for the seeds, caring for the plants. That's the same thing as his punishment. So we can't say his punishment was also the same thing he was already doing. So it has to be something different, which means if God is saying, "Hey Adam, you will now have to work for your food," it means he wasn't caring for the garden in the way that you're saying he was caring for the garden. See, now you guys are putting stuff in. I'm not. And I'd like to talk to you, Buck, when we get a chance, because now you guys are adding to the text. I am saying what the text says. Because you because you said he had to work hard, rock ground, and opposed to the soft fertile. That doesn't say that anywhere. I'm going off what the text says, and the text says his punishment was to care for the field and having to sweat off his brow in order to provide our sorry in order for food to come forth. So it's just like, no, I'm not making up anything. I'm literally going off the text, and then you guys are adding in stuff. But you're welcome to come tell me how I'm wrong. But I'm not adding to the text. And you have to add to it, by the way. Because if you read the Bible just straightforward, it will not make sense. I agree with you, Killer Throat. Yes, he had to work for those things after he got kicked out. Are you saying he was working in the thorns and thistles like before? Are you saying he was doing that in the garden? Because then how is that a punishment? Maybe I'm wrong. I just go off what the Bible. When I'm talking about the Bible, I'm going to go off what the Bible says. You don't have to believe it in order to talk about it. I don't think it's just like talking about, I don't know, the Matrix or some shit. Like Matrix isn't real, but I would have a discussion with you about the Matrix. I could probably have a pretty in-depth discussion with you about the Matrix, but it's not real. Or Pokemon, you would get me in. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but Ash died to save I said Pikachu. Anyways, if somebody wants to come up, we can talk about Genesis. I can tie that into what does God actually do, because I think Genesis is a perfect example of I don't know what God's doing. Like where was God when that damn snake was talking? What if God was just there, man? Wouldn't that have been awesome? Whole Everything's changed. God is just right there protecting his children like a good father should do. Good job. Good job, Dad. You were there for your babies. Yeah, we got to remember Adam and Eve were newborns. How old were they? Like a few days old? Unless we're going to add to the text. Just saying. If we're going to add to the text, we can come up with our own story. But according to the text, they were brand new people that didn't know anything. They also didn't know right from wrong, which is why when they ate from the tree, they could see right from wrong. So they didn't know right from wrong, which means they're babies. And if you punish your baby for doing wrong, I'm sorry, you're not a good parent. And if you're not there when your baby's about to put that fork in the socket, that's your fault too. Yeah, you can't get in trouble for what you I mean, all right, to be fair, you definitely can get in trouble for what you don't know. But according to the Bible, that's not fair. If we're talking about a human world, hell yeah, you can get in trouble. But like I said, we can't be jumping back and forth. Is this God's world or people's world? It makes sense in a people's world. We're stupid and we're not fair. And even then, as we progressed with our morals, we tried to give different senses for people that honestly do not know. So even then, we're kind of getting better at that. It used to be like there was no such thing as really mental illness, and you would just get punished the same as anybody else. But now, like, we're fair about it. Like, if you're truly mentally ill, you will not get punished the same as everybody else. That could be not, I mean, that might not be good either, right? Not taking care of the mentally ill is bad. I'm agreeing. Did I read your comment wrong? Let me see. It's a bad thing, but also, why isn't God doing anything for these people? I know it's all us, by the way, and that's kind of my point. We are responsible, and that is the truth. And even believers believe we are responsible, and it's because God isn't doing anything. Like, it is up to us. I totally agree with you. It's just I don't like it how we play it both ways. If there's this all powerful being that is my father that can do anything, do it, Dad. Do it, Dad. Yeah, but what is good time? That's not fair because if I did not take care of my child when they needed to be taken care of, and I just said I'll do it in good time, you would call me a bad father. And remember, this is like life or death stuff. Like, I feel like what we do when we try to make excuses for God is compare it to human situations where there's no life or death. Like it has to be a life or death situation when we're talking about God. It can't be you teach your child to get good grades or something like that and compare that to what God is supposed to be doing. That's not the same. No, we're supposed to be caring for each other because God won't do it. That's it. Like, that's just, God will not do it. It's been proven God won't do it. So of course we're supposed to be taking care of each other. Even if you believe in God, you have to admit God won't do it. Like, that's something that I think everybody could agree on. God's not doing it. I don't even care if you believe in God or not. God ain't helping nobody. I don't think anybody has any knowledge of God. Like, even when you tell me something about God, I think you're making it up just like me. We're all literally making up God. And why is God a he, by the way? I love how you guys keep saying he. We don't know anything about God, but it's a he. We don't know anything about God, but I know he loves everybody. We don't know anything about God. Like, it's, you have to understand how hypocritical and contradicting, not hypocritical, contradicting that sounds. Like, either we know about God or we don't. And just because I say something about God that you don't like does not mean you're more right than me. It means we're both just making crap up. And I'll be cool with that. If you're saying I'm making stuff up, I am saying you are also making stuff up. Like, If we can be if we can be honest about that, cool. Yes, but you can't say God's plan. You literally just told me I don't know about God, so you don't know about God either. That's fine. If we're all gonna admit this, I'm okay with it. I don't know shit about God, neither do you then. So I'm cool. Because it can't be only when we speak good about God that is the truth. That's not how truth works. Yes, we are making it up. I am going off of the text. I think the text is made up, just to be fair. You would have to come up here and tell me why what you're saying is true about God, and then show me how you know it's true. Yeah, but there's other people the guy in chat, the Muhammad guy, right? Isn't he preaching Islam? And he would have a whole different experience than you probably. And you would probably say he's wrong and he would say you're wrong. So now what? Like, what do we do with that? You guys both say you experience God, and then you're totally two different versions. So who's right again? You're going to call him wrong. He's going to call you wrong. And I'm going to say both of you guys are making it up. Because there's definitely things in the Quran that contradict the Bible. And then there's many other just religions too. So it's just like why is your version of speaking to God? Well, then are you calling me deceitful? Hold on. Because I wasn't calling you deceitful. Now I'm curious. Because if you're calling me deceitful, then I would say you're wrong because I am speaking honestly as well. So that's kind of interesting. Because now it sounds like you're calling me deceitful when we're both just saying what we believe is true, which is my point, by the way. Like if we're both interpreting the text, why is your version better than mine? I think the text only makes sense that it's made up, right? The text is real, like they really wrote it. Like, so maybe I shouldn't use the word made up, right? I think we are making up our interpretations of the text. And I think we are making up our interpretations of what God meant. There's no other way to do it. And if you're saying God actually speaks to you, then you would have to show me how God's speaking to you. And then you would be able to prove it, I hope. That should be easy. If God really spoke to me, this would be nothing. Like I hear people say God speaks to them, all these other things. Like the proof should just be easy then. Like why do all these people in the world know God and nobody can show it? It's so weird. Everybody's saying they know God. Everybody's speaking for God, and I don't know. I saw Kiff here the other day. Who's Kiff? I don't know who Kiff is. I don't know what's so scary about this to people though. Well, that's what my point. If I talk to somebody that is a Muslim and they tell me the same thing you said, now who's right? Like why would I believe you over the Muslim? Like why don't I just become Muslim? And you would tell me that's wrong, and I'm just like, well, what is that? Why? Like, I don't know. I just be fair about this stuff, guys. Wait, that doesn't make sense because who cares about the character Jesus? We're talking about the whole story. If if you make your judgment off of Jesus, you're not recognizing that the story could be wrong in the first place. Like Jesus, like I'm not pinpointing any character in the story. I am saying the story period is saying that it's speaking for God. All of the stories are saying they're speaking for God. What is the difference? Like Jesus is just a character in the story. No, everything I said is from the Bible. What name one thing I didn't say from the Bible? You said something that wasn't in the Bible. Name something that I said that wasn't in the Bible. And I had to scroll back up to see what you said about because I know I not called you. Yeah, I did call you out on it, but not in like some mean way. Everything I said is in the Bible. Hold up. Let me scroll up. Let me find you. I'll catch up to your comment in a second. Um, uh, it could have been Buck that said it something too, but I would like to know what I said that wasn't in the Bible. Okay, you said no, it's not. He had to work thorn and thistle and dirt. It wasn't good land to work. What was that part? Because we were talking about the garden at that point, right? So I was saying in the garden he did not have to do these things, which is why it was a punishment later. If it's a punishment, it means you weren't doing it. Or it's not normal for you to do it. That's why it's a punishment. Otherwise, it's not a punishment. So the fact that Adam had to go now work hard for his food was the punishment, which means he could not have been doing that in the garden. That's reading the text, right? I think that makes sense. Well, wait, hold on. You said that I was making it up. I'm saying I only spoke from the text. That's what I was saying. if God spoke to me, I would ask God for something that really proved that God spoke to me. And if God was like, I can't give that to you, I don't know. Like if God really spoke to me, I would ask God again to give me proof, because it would be so important to me to share God's word, by the way. The same thing I'm doing right now would be the same thing I was doing if God spoke to me. Right? Like that's God's fault if you can't prove it. That's all I got to say. That's God's fault. And why God doesn't want you to be able to prove it, I have no clue, because in the Bible, God proves itself all the time. God is all over the Bible. So the fact that, like, I believe God could show you how to prove it. God did it all the time. So I don't know, what excuse are we going to say now that God doesn't allow people to show it, when God literally sent its son down to die for us? And is is that not proof? If that is that not God showing itself? So God will show itself. Why God is not allowing you to prove that you speak to God, I have no clue, right? It might be God doesn't exist, the God that you believe doesn't exist, or that God's a jerk. I don't know. Or that God has a reason. I mean, I guess, like, and that reason we don't know, which it means we don't know anything, which means I don't know why we're making up anything about God, to be fair. The question you should ask is, why doesn't God allow people to be able to prove that God exists? Like, let me grant you that you actually have experienced God. Why does God not allow you to share that with me, somebody that really is open and wanting to know? Why does God not allow you to make me see what you saw? Like, what is the purpose of that? I would love to, if you really experience that. Like, I'm gonna just believe you because you said it, right? Until you show me otherwise, I'm gonna believe you. Yeah, God could do all of that, and everything you just said, it'd still be true. Then why did God send Jesus? Right? Why did Jesus do miracles? If I am making up stuff, so are you. Like, like I'm gonna just say that back to you. Like, if you're telling me I am making up stuff, so are you. Because you just said God desires faith and genuine relationships, not merely acknowledgement based on overwhelming proof. Why did God show up and free the Israelites? Why is that? Did God care about faith then? We're just gonna start at the Old Testament. We're just gonna keep going down here, because I think we're having a misunderstanding here. I'm gonna talk about every time God showed up that had nothing to do with faith or anything. God showed up and God did shit because God wanted to do it. Plenty of times in the Old Testament, God shows up. God shows up when people have no faith too, by the way. There's tons of circumstances. God showed up to people that didn't even believe in God. So it can't be about God desires faith and genuine relationships, because God showed up to people that did not even believe in the God. Come on, guys. I'm gonna make y'all be honest. Like I said, I'm not afraid to talk. I'm gonna make y'all be honest about it, though. I'll wait for your response. I know it takes a bit to text, or you can just jump in and talk. But I'm definitely not in my 20s. Thank you. Definitely not in my 20s, brother. I got a birthday coming up. Come on, let's talk about this, man. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it, because I like the straightforwardness. I'm just going to be straightforward back. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm excited. You got me pumped up. Let's talk about this. I wish you just hop in the voice, though. It'd be so much easier if you just hop in voice. Okay, so now you got all kinds of people. That's all God. So what's the problem? Did we lose track of what we're talking about? Because my point was, you were saying the most important thing to God, correct me if I'm wrong, the most important thing to God was faith. Hold on, let me scroll up. Faith, genuine relationship, not merely acknowledgement, right? So I guess I don't get your question after that. Yeah, yeah. So God showed himself itself. So why stop? It's not like the world ended back then. And it was a very important thing in the Bible. God showed up all the time. Like, God knew people were so bad at this that God showed up at every moment all the time, which you would have to give me a reason why God no longer does that. And it can't be that God likes faith, and the relationship part doesn't make sense, because if God wants a relationship, God shows up. So I think you lost on that one. You would have to give me a very good reason how somebody wants a relationship but doesn't show up. So I think that one's off the table. Faith would have made sense if God never showed up at all, right? But God did show up. So it's not necessarily about faith, because God showed up all the time in the Old Testament and New Testament. The New Testament literally is about God showing up. So, and Jesus even performed miracles to prove that he was God, or at least part of God. So that also destroys the whole faith part. It seems like the Bible contradicts itself a little bit, which is usually my point to my videos, but we can't have it always. We can have it some ways, but we can't have it always. And that's what I call out. And I would agree with you, like Jesus talking to Peter, right? About having to be touch his wounds. Greater are those that believe without seeing. But Jesus still allowed him to touch. Jesus says, hey, touch me so you can see that it's really me, which means God and Jesus are okay with showing themselves, which means it's not just about faith. They might, I would give it to you in the New Testament, they might prefer faith, but it does not stop them from showing themselves. Okay, no answer. That's fine. Something to think about. I can accept if you don't have an answer. That's whatever. Yeah, I was enjoying the conversation. So even if I get passionate about it, I'm not upset at anybody. So hopefully that's clear. Yeah. Next time you when you think about it, come back to me and let me know. You guys be sure to check out the video. Oh, I did Discord. Discord too. Like I said, the big channels are going right now, so I'll be honest, I didn't really expect many people to want to come chat. Yeah, I think there's like 3 or 4 big channels going. I don't know. They all decided to go on Monday. The last Monday, it was only like 1 or 2. Now it's like 4 of them. So it is what it is. I know my place in the world at the moment. Seems like you guys are having a interesting conversation. The line's going, Justin's going. Let me see who else is on. Now it's just Forrest and what's his name? Ian. Forrest and Ian are on. Yeah, everybody's there. So you got Justin on, Forrest and Ian on. Who else? Dean Withers is on. Yeah, I don't remember Kiff. Like if I said anything to them. They are. If you like aggressive, like atheists, that's probably your shit. I try to do stuff in a little more nicer way, considering I don't know, I really call myself atheist at the moment, but I just try to be honest about things. But they talk about similar things. They're gonna have more callers, but it's all kind of the same network. They can be offensive. That's true. They can. I mean, it just is. That's their channel though. That is what it is. They're obviously their viewers like it. So I mean, I don't know. I like more friendly conversations, even if we're gonna get passionate a little bit. I think we can get passionate without getting mean. I don't know, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm not trying to talk shit about other channels. I think there's room for everybody. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you very much. It always helps. I want to avoid echo chambers, that's for sure. Because when you start doing exactly what the people are doing that you talk crap about, that's bad. Obviously, that's bad. I'm trying to think of might be a video I want to work on. What's an echo chamber? I don't know if you're being silly or not. It's literally the United States is a fucking echo chamber now. Yeah, you got all these guys live. Let me see. I might take the time to work on a new video. Oh, echo chamber is basically just being around a bunch of other people that agree with you and not allowing anyone outside to really say anything. So it just becomes literally an echo chamber. You just hear yourself and it's bouncing right back to you. So, echo chamber. It kind of started with Facebook. I don't know if you heard, like, back around COVID times, like Facebook's algorithm got found out to be like their AI that they first put out. They asked the AI, they gave the AI one mission, and it was to keep people on screen as much or as long as possible. And the AI perfectly did this, by the way, made it so whenever, and this started back then, everything that you agreed with, it only pushed that to you, right? It only pushed that to you, and it started with Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg went to like Congress and everything, and he had to like have a testimony about all this stuff because they created an AI and they let it loose and basically had no clue what it was about to do. And then Facebook, the AI, created just these echo chambers where, hey, if you supported Trump, that's all you got. If you supported Biden, that's all you got. If you were a conspiracy theorist, that's all you fucking got. And the AI figured out that's how you keep people on the screen, which is true. Like you just give people what they want and what they already agree with. And then, of course, right? So the AI did it. And there's your echo chambers. Kind of cool when you think about it. If you like technology, it's actually kind of interesting. I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry. And COVID is when it spiked, right? Because everybody was at home and you just saw it go crazy because you literally were only seeing things that you agreed with. And technically, YouTube still does that in a way. As soon as you click something and you watch it, you literally get fed the same shit. You have to go out of your way. And this is something I do. My wife does it as well. Is you have to go through your feeds and purge them. You have to start clicking on different shit. I always suggest that you click on things that are opposite of what you believe in order to maybe stay out of the echo chamber. But that's very difficult when you're talking about movies or videos because you're watching them because you want to. So it's very hard for people to watch shit that disagrees with them. It takes a tougher skin, but I always go through my feed. I have religious people on my stuff that I go and I listen to their stuff sometimes. You have to do it. I was talking about the flood with a buddy of mine today, and how the flood scientifically is impossible unless you say that God magically did something else, which then turns against a lot of the people's. It's a weird, like, the Bible just gives you an out, right? So say there was really a flood, we scientifically know if all of the water that was set in the flood happened, the earth would have incinerated. It would have been so much friction and the whole world would have been destroyed. But you can just say God could do it. So it's like it's tough. Like religious people want to use science when it works, but then you don't want to use science when it doesn't. So it's tough. It's tough. Oh, weeping spirit, you didn't say the children went to the better place. Don't say that. Come on, man. That's not cool. A child going through something just to go, I don't know. Come on. somebody's suffering is not okay. They just because they're going to a better place. Yes, but it was impossible scientifically for the whole world to have been flooded. Whether there was a flood at the time where people say there was a flood in Mesopotamia, okay. But for the what the Bible says, the whole world to be flooded up to the highest mountaintops, which we know the highest mountaintops, they're the same as they were 2,000 years ago. Or sorry, that would have been like 6,000, 8,000 years ago. Uh, it's impossible. Oh, you want some references? Yeah, that's cool. Nothing wrong with getting some scientific references. That's good for asking. Also, another thing, pretty sure, I'll look this up too. Like, what does it take for water to evaporate? That's like a clue you can think about. Like, if the whole world was flooded, what would it take for all that water to evaporate? Or are you going to say God did something? If you're going to just say God did something, then there's nothing I can say. Like, if you're going to say God magically did it, okay, whatever. All right, let me just post some do this. Yeah, I'm gonna post some stuff for you since you're interested in reading it. Yeah, she just wants a reference, so I'm gonna get her one. Flood heat problem. I'm just getting the articles. I'm gonna make sure they're good articles. I have no problem with people want to read about it. Oh, Gibbon, Gutsick. Yeah, I watch her all the time. She's pretty cool. Patal, what's up, Patal? You're a little late, Patal. All right, hold on. I think I found it. Accelerated nuclear decay. Some young Earth creations are okay, but even the creation rate productive. This too. Okay. I think this might be one. Patal says they'll never call in. All right, here you go. This might be a good one for you. Let me post this in here. Now, this one might be more on your side, right? I'm trying to find something on your side, right? And then let me find something because I think this one gives like because it says Institute of Creation Research. So I'm assuming by the name it actually gives you biblical reasons. So let me find another opposite one because I feel like you should get both. All right, let me see. Okay, maybe this one. There's so many of these, honestly. Take what I gave you and then just go start researching. Look for opposite opinions. If that's the one that is defending it, just look for opposite opinions. A lot of people have not heard of this heat problem. People think of water and they don't think of heat. But if you're really interested, just make sure to do that and just research it, man. And then come back. We'll talk about it. Like father, like son. So there are two gods, right? Son of God. See, Patah, you're just gonna say stuff and preach. You're never gonna you're never gonna say anything else. Welcome back though. Okay, welcome back. Oh, y'all talking about free will? I don't know if I believe in free will. I think it's an illusion. Gutsit Gibbon on the Earth atheist side and standing for truth. Yeah. Let me look up her, by the way. Gutsit Gibbon on the flood heat problem. She's pretty funny. I like her. I actually might do a little reaction video to it right now. I'm bored right now. Nobody's calling in. Let's just watch a fucking video. Sorry, Patal, you do not choose what you believe in. Nobody chooses what they believe. You can choose to act like you believe something. You do not choose what you believe. You just believe something off of being convinced. That's it. The topic is what does God do? Honestly, all of this ties into God not doing anything. Let's just be fair. Oh, here's another one for you that you might like. Honestly, a good answer, what God does is God freaking kills people. God kills people according to the Bible. God will kill your ass. God will kill your ass. That's that's probably true. How many people did God kill in the Bible compared to the devil? What's the number, guys? Anybody got that number? Do you think God killed more people than the devil? How about that? I think the devil killed like I think the devil you can say killed Job's children, right? I think we can say that. Like, I know God allowed the devil to do it, but I think the devil dropped the house down on the children or something. I'll count those kills. Yeah, but when God does it, it's good. Yeah, of course. We all know that. Yeah, I know he gave his blessing, but I'm just trying to be fair, right? That's like me going and being like to the boss, like, hey, boss, can I go kill this person? And the boss allowing me to do it. I still go and kill him, so it counts as me killing him. So I'm going to say, yeah, the devil, I think the devil did kill some people. All right, let me put it here. Let me put it in my notepad. I'm fair, guys. We're not going to go to one side or the other. We're going to legitimately be fair about this, right? I only speak in fairness. So if God did some good stuff, which I don't know, we'll talk about that. if if the devil did some good stuff, some bad stuff. All right, we got all right, in Job. All right, so we got Job about 10 people, right? So Job 1:18 through 19. God allows him to attack people after Job 1:12. Yeah, I only got Discord at the moment. I feel like Discord actually keeps people a little honest too. A lot of people don't want to mess up their Discord. So I don't get like shitty ass callers. I think eventually if we want to grow, I have to do like TikTok and other call ins like Zoom, or I think the line uses some other call in type thing. But I see a lot of the other things that are used, people use them just to hide themselves, which you just get crappy callers. But we're not even big enough to worry about that yet. So yeah, we got it says devil killed about 10 people. And it says God killed about a minimum millions. So I don't know. You can't defend that, guys. You cannot defend killing millions over 10 people. And if you want, we can go through this list of what God did, because that is part of the stream. What does God do? I can list it now. Let's go with number one. We had the flood. That's a good thing. Actually, let's do this. We're gonna list all the things that God did. Let's do this. That's fun. All right, flood. Sodom and Gomorrah. Exodus is a couple things, right? He actually frees the Israelites too. So freed Israel. Harden Pharaoh's heart. How you spell Pharaoh? I can't remember. We're gonna do this. Heart. Uh. Okay, I'll put that. Created heavens and earth. That'll be up here. All right. We don't have proof of that, but we did. But since we're acting like God's real. Heavens, earth. All right. Now, what did God do with the heavens and earth? God, hold on. God admits that He created badly. Why does God admit he created badly? What does God say? Can anybody guess? God admits. What does God regret? I regret making man. All right, so God regretted making man. Good job, God. All right, what else we got? Adam and Eve. There's actually two creation stories. Adam and Eve. The creation stories are a little weird. Oh yeah, at first he said it's good. It's good. Okay. God created evil. God does say that. What else we got? Yeah, what's the order? God created plants first. Created plants first. Then created light. That's weird. Okay. I know this is small on the screen. Hold up. Excuse me. There we go. Wait, are we only sticking to Genesis here? I know there's more stuff God did. Come on. Tower of Babel. Let's see. Flood was first, right? I'm trying to do this in some kind of order. All of this is here. Tower of Babel. One of my favorite stories. Tower of Babel. Oh, how about this one up here? One of the worst things God could have did. After God creates Adam and Eve, God left. Here we go. This is the big one. God left Adam and Eve alone. Ouch. That's somebody that wants a relationship, by the way, and they only want a relationship with you. No. Sorry. Tower of Babel. God confuses everyone. We were actually getting along right now. Tower of Babel, we were getting along. God confused everyone because we were getting along. God said, how dare you guys get along? All right, what else we got? He created all the languages by, okay. He confused us all. Can't spell right now. Confused and then created separate language, I guess. Whatever that means. Can't spell. Multiple languages. Okay. After the Tower of Babel, what happens? Oh, I forgot. In Genesis, let's see. So in Genesis, we have, this is the one that gets me, by the way. God puts a, what's it, cherubim? It's like a type of angel. Let me just say that. puts an angel in front of the garden to protect the tree of life. I want you guys to read that one and let me know what I'm going to say. How many of you guys are listening right now? So God put an angel to protect the tree of life. That should give y'all a hint really fast on God's capabilities. Because there were some excuses before on God having to let people have free will, right? But God does something very special and does not allow Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of life. So much for free will. All right, we got somebody up here. Let's see what they got to say. Wait, why can't I move you? What the heck? Whoever was here is gone now, I guess. Whoever was here, you can come back and I'll get you in there. But this is a very key thing here. Like, I want to focus on this real fast. If God was capable of keeping Adam and Eve from eating from the trees, why did God not do that? Boom, story over. Right there. There's nothing there. No one can say anything. I literally just destroyed Genesis. Nothing anyone can say. God could have stopped them from eating from the tree. It's done. No, there is no free will because they weren't allowed to eat from the tree of life. Free will would have allowed them to eat from the tree of life. God did not allow that. All right, let's pull them up. Who is this? Antagallo. I don't know what you did, bro, but it's not allowing me to move you. That's weird. Wait, what do you mean negative? Let me just start a call with you. Let me try that. Oh, it says I had to be friends with you? Sorry, I'm like looking at this screen part. I don't know what you did to your stuff, bro. I never had to be friends with somebody. Like, literally, God stops people from eating from the tree of life. How am I wrong? No, listen to what I'm saying exactly. Like, just hop into the call, man. Y'all need to just hop into the call. I am saying that there was the excuse for why God allowed them to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil was free will. So, if free will is all cool, why were they not allowed to also eat from the tree of life? God stopped them from doing it. On Tagelo, I don't know what's going on with you, bro. Sorry. It's called a rule. Yes, but the rule at first was to not eat from the tree of life. Or sorry, from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and they could do it. Like, what are you missing there? You say I'm missing something. What are you missing? I am talking about the fact that God could have kept them from eating from either tree. If you want to talk about rules, I am talking about the rules. The rules were not to eat from either. God allowed them to eat from one and not the other, which means God could have kept them from eating from either one. Yes, you're right. This is about rules. And God only cares about rules when God wants to care about rules. My whole point to this was God could have stopped them. Why isn't the angel in front of the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Bro, do you really not see how that logic makes no sense? This isn't anything. There are two trees. Why didn't they eat from the tree of life? Let me ask you that. Why do you think they didn't eat from the tree of life? They had two trees to pick. Why didn't they eat from the tree of life? I think people only want free will when it makes sense to the story. All right, I tried to call this person. I tried to call you, buddy. You can hop back in when you want. Repeat. Shit, I just said a lot there. Yeah, I'm asking you, why do you think they didn't eat from the tree of life? Why does this story not tell you they ate from the tree of life? Like, why didn't they pick that one? And also, do you know what God says on why he put the angel in front of the tree of life? No, no. If we're going by the Bible, they did not eat from the tree of life. God literally says that they need to stop them from eating from the tree of life, otherwise they'll be like us, which is strange. That's a whole nother subject. It actually shows that God is not in control, by the way. The fact that if some beings eat from the tree of life, they will become like us shows that God isn't all powerful. But not really on the subject, but I think that's interesting for y'all to think about. There's because to me it hints at there's something that's more powerful than God, by the way. All right, I'll pull it up. Let's see. Thanks for the two Jews. Yeah, so we just got to look up God's verse on why he didn't allow them to eat from the tree of life. All right. So here is Genesis 33:22. Yahweh God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, lest he reach out his hand and also take of the tree of life and eat and live forever, ever." So they did not eat from the tree of life. God stopped them from eating from the tree of life because we would have become like them. Very strange. Super strange. Basically, it's saying that God could not have done anything if they would have eaten from the tree of life. God, not all powerful, right there. A lot of people don't notice that one, by the way. And you probably won't hear too many people talking about that, but that shows that God is not all powerful. If God is afraid of them eating from the tree of life, it means God cannot do anything about it. That is a very key verse that nobody talks about. Like, why is God afraid of them doing anything? God could just snap and undo it, right? Apparently not. Genesis 3:22. Go ahead and read it for yourself. Another contradiction in the Bible. You heard it here first. Let me know what you got. What excuse do we have for that one? Yes, but that can't be, brother. I literally just gave you the verse. Google doesn't matter here. I gave you a verse out of the Bible. There's a reason why God keeps them from doing it. God tells us why he didn't allow them. Let me read it again. Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, lest he reach his hand and also take of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Ever. Genesis 3:22. That is saying that God is afraid, and that's a big thing on its own, by the way. God is afraid of people eating from the tree of life. Let that sink in for a second. I'm going to go to the bathroom. You guys let that sink in. All right. Did y'all read that verse? Who can defend that one? I'm cooking, reading the verse, and live stream at the same time. Nice, bro. Multitasking. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. There's not much to think about there. God is afraid. This is literally God being afraid. I would love somebody to rebuttal that. This is God being afraid that the Adam and Eve will eat of the tree of life, and that's interesting. Nobody really talks about that, by the way. I never understand why. I noticed this as a child, and I thought it was very interesting because I'm like, wait, God can just undo anything, right? You don't need context behind the fact. Like, what context do you need? The context is right there. Like, that is the literal context. Like, the context is God says humans have become like us, right? Knowing good and evil, and he does not want them to eat from the tree of life and live forever in the fallen state, right? That's usually the and I'll grant that, right? God doesn't want them to be alive forever in the fallen state, but it's just like, well, wait, I get it that God is doing it for a good reason. Let's just say that, right? I'm granting that, but it's very interesting because it's almost like God can't do anything about it once it's done. That's what I'm focused on more, is that there's something that God can't do anything about once it's done. That is what's interesting. Like, I guess the context you're looking for is why God did it, and God did it according to the context because he didn't want man to live forever in a fallen state. The God of the Bible, for sure, you're right, is not what people actually talk about. I think that's common sense now. When you ask people to talk about God, it's almost never the God of the Bible. I like to talk about the God of the Bible because it's interesting to me. Yeah, right. But the key is that God can't do anything about it. That's what's interesting, right? Like, once they eat from the tree of life, wait, what? There's nothing that can be done? Oh, the free will part was God obviously can stop people from doing their own free will when God wants to. That's it. I think that's straightforward. Why didn't God put an angel in front of both trees? And then the story is weird because what if they would have just ate from the tree of life? What does God do then? It's kind of showing why the story says what it says. They could not have eaten from the tree of life because we don't have a story anymore. So it makes more sense that people just made up this story in order to convey why man and women have such hard times now, why women have a hard time doing childbirth. All of that makes more sense. The story itself makes little sense if you take the story literally. I don't know many people that actually take the story literally anymore. I'll be honest on that. Most people you speak to do not take this as a real story. But if you take it for a story, it's obvious why it was taken that way. Hey, you got to sleep sometime. Got to sleep sometime. But honestly, that was an interesting topic. I wish somebody would call in. I would have loved to talk about that live. All right, Talon. Appreciate it, buddy. You were the first one here, so you can be the first one out. Appreciate you. We had somebody try to call in, but it just wasn't working. Wonder if they were like a troll or something. Hey, thanks, man. We'll be here tomorrow as well. While you go to sleep, be sure to check out my videos that I posted today. Selfish plug. You got to upload an ID? I never had to upload an ID. Is that something new? Um, I mean, I could use other stuff too. There's like Zoom I could use. I need more than one thing, by the way, because some people don't want to use Discord. There's like a Zoom call-in thing, or Zoom is just a call-in. So yeah, that sucks. I can kind of get not wanting to put your ID on there. I don't know if I just had Discord so long it doesn't matter or what, but I get that, bro. No complaints from me there. All right, let's see. What's next here? We're almost at our 2 hour mark. I mean, the conversations have been good. Just like, it kind of sucks just being in a chat conversation though, but I think that Genesis topic, I like that. I enjoy Genesis topics. All right, so we'll give it about 10 more minutes and then, God, I really need to go ahead and make a video for tomorrow. I'm trying to trying to think of what. You guys got any good debate videos I can kind of go over and react to? I kind of do my stuff as close to as live as I could do without making it look horrible. That's like some people complain about my videos. It's like, bro, I'm literally watching it and then recording. Like that's what I'm doing. I watch it and record my response. So it's not always going to be perfect because I want it to be an actual response. Talking about Genesis is like talking about Windows 3.1. Sure, but the Bible does not allow itself to really be updated. So that'd be an interesting topic. 621:26. Let me look it up. The line. I wish the Bible allowed itself to be updated. That'd be awesome. Well, hold on. Are you? Can you update the New Covenant? Can you not? Can you update those? Because if you can, you prove my point. No, like you like obviously there's an update to the Old Testament. The fact that you're playing that game means you already had a plan in mind. Like you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about because you're smarter than that. The Bible, can the Bible be updated? That includes the Old Testament and the New Testament. Can that be updated? Come on, guys. Be fair with your arguments, man. Don't try to do the gotcha stuff. That's like childish. I don't know. Let's see. Can it be updated again, bro? Oh my gosh. 2,000 years ago is not an update. Think about if science was still 2,000 years ago. If science stuck to 2,000 years ago, like, you call that an update? Come on, man. Just be honest. Gosh, you can be a believer and be honest, man. Can it be updated? 2,000 years ago is not an update. All right, I'm done. That's so stupid. Like, you're just not being honest. If you think morals 2,000 years ago are still good, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Just hop into the voice chat. I'll talk to you about it. All right, Matt Dillahunty, 621. All right. Let's see the line. Like, if we still had science from 2,000 years ago, yeah, you wouldn't be a happy camper. All right, let's see. Line. And honestly, I don't think you're ready to be honest. I wish most people were ready to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. When I was a believer, I think I was way more honest than a lot of these people. I still believed and I didn't make up shit. Like, I still believed. And I knew a lot of this shit was not, like, it didn't make sense, but I still believed. Like, I don't get why people have to do stuff like that. I don't know. You don't have to. You can still believe. You don't have to defend everything in the Bible. Some of the Bible is bad, and you can still believe. I don't understand this whole I have to defend everything in the Bible because I was indoctrinated into thinking that's true. I don't get it. Like, it just amazes me. I don't even understand. All right, the line 621. How many days ago was that? So 8 days ago. Is that the one with Owen? Matt and Owen? And if you're telling me I'm not ready for it, literally just hop into the Discord. Let's talk. I'm literally afraid to talk to no one. And if you have something that will open my mind, I am more open than you, I would say, maybe. So if you have something that would open my mind, join the chat. Let me know. Okay, I actually watched this one, so I have to, maybe it's on my list, by the way. It could be on my list. Yeah, you have to explain how I need humility because let me scroll up again. You said, okay, you said there's a new covenant. It was updated 2,000 years ago. Do you think if we still use science that was 2,000 years ago, would you say that's updated? Let's see if you can be honest, Big Nick, because I remember you from the last stream. Let's see if I can get some honesty out of you. If we still used medical or any science from 2,000 years ago, would you say that's updated? Let's put him on the spot. Can you answer? Or are you just going to not answer? You're going to come over with a reason not to answer? Would you say that's updated? You said be honest, be humble. Let's see. Let's see if you can just answer honestly. Yeah, we're on Windows 11 right now, bro. And you still won't answer. Got it. That's not humility. I like to call out people that call out other people for humility. That's not humility. That's literally not humility. Thanks for showing me I'm right. Appreciate it. Well, Weeping Spirit, you're being honest. You saying you don't update the Word of God. Big Nick was saying that it's updated. I am saying it needs another update. I was honest with him and said that yes, the New Testament somewhat updated the Old Testament. Jesus still does say to follow the laws. So it's not completely updated, but it is a bit of an update, right? I am saying it needs another update, right? So, Big Nick, you aren't listening to me, and it's the same thing you did last stream, by the way. So, it's okay, buddy. That's cool, man. Like I said, all you got to do is jump in and say something. And if your excuse is I'm not ready, then okay. I think you're just trolling a little bit, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I did watch this God is Not Good Disagree call with Matt and Owen. I think I do have that on my list. Maybe I'll do that after this, actually. That's like a 2 hour one though. Oh, that's like a 2 hour stream. I'd have to watch all of that. Excuse me. All right, you're just trolling now, Big Nick. Sorry, bro. That's the thing that disappoints me is if I were you, Big Nick, back when I was a believer, I all I did was want to talk to people about it. I don't understand people that believe in something so special and it's not you would not want to talk to me about it. I would have never said that you aren't ready. I would have spoken to anyone about this, period. So it just amazes me the people that think they have something that literally is the most important thing in the world in history and don't want to share it. That I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me at all. It makes me question what you really believe, by the way. The fact that you're saying you have the answer for a question that all human beings, not all maybe, but a lot of human beings have wondered. No, that's not true, man. That's so weird. I hope you don't treat your children that way. If you have children, I hope you don't not teach them because they can't read something. Other than that, you're never teaching your child until they're like fucking like 12 years old. So I think you have pride, right? Your pride would be, I can't speak to you about this until you're ready. That is literal pride. That's pride. You need to get a mirror and put it to yourself, brother. Just take the mirror, turn it around, look at it. You are prideful. You are prideful. Power versus force. Power versus force. To say that you won't speak to somebody is prideful. First off, you were trying to get me on a gotcha. Like, what book did I just recommend? You aren't being honest. You're not an honest person. Sadly, by the way, you're not an honest person. You say you know something, you don't want to share it. You want me to go read a book. You're calling me you're saying that I'm not humble while you're telling me I'm not ready to hear what you have to say. I am the arrogant one. That's hilarious. And then now you're going to name calling. Got it. There you go. you you're literally proving my point. Yeah, that's humble. Thanks for showing me how to be humble. Appreciate it. Well, let's see. What's the verse that Big Nick is not going by? You're supposed to be ready at all times. Was that Peter, right? Let me get the exact verse for you, Big Nick. Because most Christians don't remember this verse. But I want to get the exact one for you because I don't know it word for word. I'm humble enough to know I don't know the exact words. God has done a lot of God hasn't cared about pride before. That's for sure. God does whatever God wants in the Bible when God wants to do whatever God wants. And then when God can't do something, we make an excuse for God. But, you know, it's all good. All right, this is for you, Big Nick. I'm gonna put it up here just for you, brother, because you are not doing this. You are not doing this. All right. Peter 3:15. All right, go read Peter 3:15, brother. And learn to be a little bit honest with yourself. Thank you very much. Like I said, if I were you, I would have already called in. I would have already defended my God, and I would have already helped the person that needs to be helped. Because if I were you and I was looking at me on stream, I would want to help this person, which means I would not sit here like you and avoid the conversation. I would not say what else? Hold on. What did you say? Called me stupid. I would not have done any of those things. Yet you're telling me I'm projecting. Very interesting. I'm projecting. What am I projecting? Are you honest enough to answer how I am projecting? Right? Now, how am I projecting? Calling somebody stupid will really get them to open the door, right? That's so true. You're so right. Calling somebody stupid will get them to open the door. Got it. That's just so dishonest, man. So dishonest. You didn't share anything with me. I asked you a question and you told me to read a book. Why can't you just give me what your answer is? Do you want me to scroll back up? Hold on, let me do it. Let's go where this started because you came in hot. That's what they say. Came in hot. All right. Talking about Genesis is talking about Windows 3.1. You realize there's updates, yeah? I'm going to keep going. Ha ha. Yeah, there's no new covenant. You're being sarcastic. You're right. The gospels and epistles don't exist. Sarcasm, right? They just aren't there, huh? Sarcasm. The Bible was literally updated 2,000 years ago with the New Testament. It was updated. And during this time, I'm sitting there telling you it needs another update. Okay? You aren't ready for it. Let me know when you're trying to be helpful, by the way. I'm gonna read all of your shit. We're gonna do this. Ha ha was the next one. I'm more open than you. Where have you proven so far that you're more open than me? Let's keep going. You ain't ready. You need humility. Pride is a stumbling block. Humility opens doors. The New Testament isn't a science book. Windows 98 is an update to Windows 3.1. Windows 7 is an update too. Hold on, let me keep going. Okay, so denying Windows 98 is just dumb. Okay, I'm not the only one denying. Oh, you actually did admit something. Hold on. Oh, no, actually, you didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not the one who's denying about updates. You literally ignored everything I said because I agreed with you that the Old Testament was kind of updated with the New Testament. My whole point was it needed another update. Got it. All right. It's got another update, which you aren't ready for. This is where you're trying to answer me. Okay. If you can read the whole thing, maybe you're ready. My money is on, you won't do it. That's just my voice for you, by the way. If you can't read, it's not going to work. Why are you saying if I can't read? Very condescending, being a jerk, very godly. It's not going to work for you. All right. Next, you got to know how to read first. More condescending. All right. You need humility. You've shown a lot of humility just then. You're so right. Before you can accept the firmware update. Pride blocks it. What book did I just recommend? I answered you that. And then what did you do? You switched the subject again. It's like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't even finish reading your comments because this is so stupid. You literally are talking about maybe, I would say, the most important thing ever. And you are so prideful, by the way. You are the one that's prideful. You are so prideful that you are like, if you don't do this, this, and this, I won't share this most important information with you that's ever been known by any human being on earth. I'm the prideful one, though. Fucking amazing. You made me curse. Good job. It's like so stupid. So stupid, man. Oh my gosh. I'm the prideful one, but you won't share the most important information that there could be to know. But I'm the prideful one. Bless us all, please. My God. That's what we gotta deal with. My God. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Real question. Who did you vote for? I just want to see if you answer at least one question straightforward. Who did you vote for? Should I play some music? Hold on. Let me get some music so we can wait on this. Oh, wrong one. Hold up. What do we need? We need the beginning. There we go. Who did you vote for? Are you gonna answer? You've been typing a lot. He's not. He stopped typing. You don't want to say who you voted for. You obviously don't want to say who you voted for. I just asked you who you voted for. You've been typing this whole time. I just want you to be honest one time. There's only one reason people never say who they voted for, especially nowadays. We're waiting. Like I said, dishonest people, dishonesty. And if you want to prove me wrong, like I said, come talk to me. Like, yeah, you're not an honest person, bro. I'm not projecting. You are literally projecting while calling me a projector. Just be honest, guys. Like, I'm cool, man. I really am. Like, I'm a cool dude to talk to. Like, but when you start spitting that dishonest shit to me, you will bring out the passion in me. I can't stand dishonesty. I don't care what the fuck you believe in, by the way. I'm not like the other channels. Like, I literally don't fucking care. I just want you to be honest. I don't care if you believe in the boogeyman. I don't care if you believe in voodoo dolls. I don't care about any of that shit. I really don't. Just be honest about what you can prove with your beliefs. And if you can't prove it, fuck it, bro. It's okay. A lot of people believe in shit that they can't prove, man. But don't call somebody else out that is being honest because you can't be honest because you're afraid that as soon as I tackle one of the things that you think is true, it's going to destroy your whole fucking mindset and destroy your life because your beliefs are so fucking flimsy. Maybe you should question yourself. Like why you don't want to talk about your beliefs. Like you're that scared to talk about what you actually believe. When I was a freaking Christian, bro, I would have destroyed you as a Christian. Bro, I would have destroyed you as a Christian, man. Are you kidding me? Like, I wish somebody would have asked me to come debate them when I was a Christian. Like, I would have never denied that. I wish there was call-in shows back when I was doing my thing. I would have been calling into that shit. I will defend what I believe, bro. So for you to call me out, tell me I'm being dishonest? No, bro, you are a weak Christian. Seriously. You are a weak ass Christian. And all I ask is for honesty, bro. That's it. You can get me riled up when you're not honest. 100%. You get me riled up. If I were you, I would have called me already. I would have called in already, defending my God. I would have never have said, oh, you're not ready for it. Like, imagine somebody coming up to you in a fight, right? Like, they're saying they can whoop your ass. I don't know, like, maybe a lot of y'all never been in a fight. I've been in some fights. Imagine the dude that's coming up to you, like, he's like, oh, you're not ready for this ass whooping. That means the dude can't fight, bro. Punch that dude. I'm telling y'all the secret right there. You punch that dude in the face. As soon as he makes an excuse for not fighting, punch that motherfucker in the face. He can't fight. Like, oh my God. Like, dude can't fight, bro. If he's talking all that shit and he don't just come punch you, he can't fight. Punch that dude in the gut. Watch. He can't fight. Like, golly, bro. God, some of these people amaze me. You say I'm not ready. So stupid, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, actually, like an ear hit, like go with this. That like get them with that on the ear, bro. They'll fucking start crying. But I'm just saying, man, like anybody that's talking shit like that and not stepping up to the plate is the bully that you just knock in the face one time and they will no longer bully you. That is legit. And I used to fight bullies, bro. I couldn't stand that shit. I got in trouble. Like one of the times I got in a fight in junior high is because like there's these like group of people that act like they were in a gang and shit. And I was like, fuck that. It's like, you're in a gang? All right, whatever, let's go. Like real talk. It's just like, I'm not afraid of that shit, man. Like, whatever, bro. You want to do some shit, let's do it. I was only scared of one person ever, and I'm no longer scared of them. But one person ever, and you can probably guess who that is. And I obviously I'm not scared of that person anymore. They're a good person, by the way. I'm not saying I had a bad that I was only ever scared of one person in my life, and damn dogs outside. But being like the point of that is not about fighting or physical violence, by the way. The main point is if I was Big Nick and I really thought I knew the truth and I thought another person was wrong, I would have spoken to them literally. Like I wouldn't say, "Oh, you're not ready." Ridiculous. Because the end is nay. I have no time to be ready. You should just be spreading the word. The end is nay. Nine, nay. Which one is it? Can't remember. Nine, nay. Hey, what up, channel? Channel guides. I hate calling you by that since I know you, by the way. What up, man? Welcome back. Welcome to the stream. We had a good one. You would have liked. Oh, it's Big Nick. You are the one that was speaking to Big Nick. Yeah, channel. You were the one. You and Big Nick were having a little discussion, and we discussed Big Nick earlier today. Channel's one of my boys, by the way. So, just all disclosure. We talk about this stuff all the time, and we don't always agree, which is why I like him. Because you should be able to disagree and talk to people on things and have a conversation. If you're able to call in today, channel, and kind of talk about what you wanted to talk about before, it would actually be a good chance or a good opportunity. Hey, what are y'all talking about? Big L? Is that a rapper? Just kidding. Is that a rapper? God, I gotta make a video today. All right. Let me think about this. Tuesdays actually aren't even that great for my videos. I think I'm just gonna do a replay of an old live. think that's what I'll do. Big Nick, did you leave, bro? There's no way you left, right? Come on, Big Nick. You're not that sensitive, right? Because you just stopped talking. I think you left. It's not cool, bro. It's not cool. All right, anybody want to come chat? It's all open for anybody now, not even just disagreeers. Since we're towards the end of the stream, if anybody wants to just come have a little chat real fast, that's cool too. Don't tell us. Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask something. I have fun making videos, to be honest. I'm trying not to make this into a thing where, like, you shouldn't make something into a business unless it's a business. So I want to continue to have fun just making my videos, because that's the thing that's why I have so many videos. I literally just have fun making them. And I'm trying to make sure I stick to that as long as possible. Obviously, we're monetized now. And I do have a little, not little, I don't want to say little, because it is good money to some people. And I don't want to demean them, by the way. But I have a little income coming in from this, and I appreciate it. But I want to make sure that I'm still having fun as well. Obviously, it's not crazy money, but it would be money to some people, so I don't want to demean that at all. I definitely appreciate it. So I do think I confused my YouTube algorithm, like, because the lives I do, and then I do the reaction videos. I think YouTube sometimes doesn't know who to send my shit to, because my content kind of is like everywhere a little bit. Like, a lot of the people that do lives, their videos are actually of their lives, as to where mine is like, you got the lives, you got my reaction videos, you got some documentary videos I try to do. So I think I confuse the shit out of my stuff. But yeah, open to anybody that wants to come have a little last chat. If you have anything to say, there was a lot going on today, even though nobody called. The Big Nick thing is definitely going to get clipped. Sorry, gotta say that. Anybody that calls me out for being dishonest while not being honest, you get clipped. I want to make sure all these chats are in that video too. It's going to be a while from now because I have a backlog on the videos, but I am one of the most honest people you're going to freaking meet. So I take that seriously when somebody's saying I'm being dishonest. It's why I also don't hop on the I'm atheist bandwagon either. Not bandwagon. I'm not saying people bandwagon, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I just know we just need to be honest. I don't know if there's a God or not. No clue. But I feel like I do know that the Abrahamic God is just easily falsifiable, like really easy. And that's what I talk about. So it's like, do I call myself an atheist? No, I don't. Because I have no fucking clue if there's a God or not. I have no clue. I just know everything that we've presented, that's not it. I think that's easy to falsify. And that's why people have to jump up and down and wiggle around and say and contradict themselves. I have it easy. I'm just honest. I have it super easy. If you present an argument to me that I don't have an answer for, I say it. I have it very easy. I just be honest. I just tell the truth that I have think that's the truth. And then we're talking about science. I just like, yeah, whatever science is proven at the moment. The awesome thing about science is that it can change. Unfortunately for the Bible, it hasn't changed in 2,000 years. Even though I've spoken about this with people before, we are changing the Bible right now. We just don't realize it, I think. But I can imagine in 100 years or something, if the Bible's still around, it will be translated differently. Like, we are in the process of maybe what the process was 2,000 years ago, where people were just speaking about it, right? There obviously was something, and I was speaking about this with one of my buddies today. Obviously, around 2,000 years ago, after Jesus died, nobody thought Jesus was going to die. Nobody thought the Messiah was going to die. And there was a lot of battles going on with those inner groups on what that meant. And we see that, especially when we look at the Dead Sea Scrolls and find other scriptures that aren't included in the canon. There obviously was a lot of debate going on. And currently, there's a lot of debate going on what should be included in the interpretations of the future. And we're literally living through it right now. And I'm curious, hopefully I'm still around to see it. I'm curious what we will say the Bible is, even like 40 years from now. I'll be an old ass man then, but that's probably all the time I have. And so that's like kind of why I say it. So it's just like, it's very interesting to think about. I believe we are in a process of rewriting the Bible. And if we can't rewrite it, it will be destroyed, like the other Greek myths and things like that. But there's a huge group fighting to rewrite it. Very huge group. And that's just something to think about. I'm working on a video to kind of start doing that. But let me know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, there'll be more denominations for sure. But I'm working on something, because really what I want for my videos, I like the reaction stuff, but I have like a storytelling type of thing I want to do more, which is going to be more like a documentary type style. And that's probably what I'll get into pretty soon. It might hurt my channel a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not really worried about that. I want to make stuff that I have fun with. I want to make stuff that's like intriguing. I want to make stuff that makes people think, and I want to make stuff that makes people be honest. And yeah, I'm working on some stuff that I'm trying to think of. Once once we move or something, I have like I'll get like a studio type thing. Because a lot of the stuff I'm limited, because I have a family, take care of my family, so there's a lot of walking in and out, and it's very hard to make the videos I want to make when the family needs me. Right. So I have to balance it out. But yeah, all right, guys. I think that's cool. Let me make sure nobody's waiting. Oh, I've been playing. Let me tell you all the games I've been playing. I have been sharing the games I've been playing. So I got Bell Right, Manor Lords, and what is it called? Paralives. Right? So it's just like those are the games I've kind of been playing. It's why I haven't been knocking out 2 videos a day. Nah, GTA 6 is not out just yet. I think that's like November or something. It's supposed to come out this year. So yeah, I'll have some videos for tomorrow. I'll find something or I'll record something if I feel like hype enough to record something. Bellrite is okay. Bannerlords 2, I'm actually thinking I might like that more. Manor Lords has been fun. And then the Paralives, if you don't like Sims, you won't like it. And I don't know if I really like Sims that much, but I'm going to give it a chance because there's a Steam summer sale and just like I got like 4 good games for like $80. I could not do it. Like 4 games, $80. Like, I'll do it. Like, so that's kind of how that was. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for the conversations. I should have some videos for tomorrow. Be sure to go check out the videos today. There's like 2 videos. Yeah, simulations. Yep, you got it. You got it. So, yep, as always, guys, I'm Jay. Don't forget to throw away your feelings, open your minds, and question your beliefs. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. I'll see you guys tomorrow, I believe. So, take care. Peace.